In this video, we're going to talk about sets in Python. First, we're going to learn what a set is and how to access, add, and remove set items, and how to look through sets, and in the end, how to join sets. If you want to learn more about Python and other programming languages, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy this video and find it useful, don't forget to like it. It will be a great support. Let's begin. Okay, what is a set in Python? A set is a collection of data, and it is used to store multiple items in a single variable. We learned in previous sessions, we talked about lists and tuples. They are built-in data types in Python used to store collection of data, and I told you that we're gonna talk about set and dictionary, and now it's the time to talk about a set. Okay, and set is one of 4 built-in data types that we talked about. Okay, and now let's see how we can create a set. Well, in order to create a set, we have to put items into a curly bracket and separate them by a comma. Okay, let's see an example here. For example, my set equals to use a curly bracket, and I'm gonna just select some items. For example, Alex and John, and for example, Sarah. Sorry. Okay, and this is set. Okay, so let's print it. My set. Okay, this is a set. Okay, as you see here, it is set. We can actually also see the type of this variable to make sure that this is a set. Okay, type, and my set. Okay, if I execute this code, you see here the type is set. There are 3 characteristics of a set. I'm gonna tell you. The first one is it is unordered. Okay, it is unordered. It means that there is not any specific order in the items. For example, sometimes the first item might be Alex, and the second time the first item might be John. Okay, so there is not specific item. And the second one is it is unchangeable. Okay, so let's write it here. It is unchangeable. However, you can remove or add new items, but you cannot change an item. Okay, this is why we call it unchangeable. And the last one is it is unindexed. Okay, so you cannot use indexes to actually access to the items. Okay, we will talk about each of these characteristics one by one and tell you how it affects your coding and what to use and what not to use in order to actually work with set. Well, sets also cannot have 2 items with same values. In other words, duplicates not allowed. Okay, so let's see here an example. For example, in my set, I said 2, for example, a new set is, for example, A, and I'm going to use B, and again I'm going to use A. Okay, and let's print this. My set 2. Okay, if I run it, you see here the second A is not printed here because it does not include in this set. As I told you, it does not allow duplicate values. Like lists and tuples that we talked about, sometimes we want to see the length of a data collection, for example this set, and in order to determine the length of a set, you use a len function. Okay, you must be familiar with this because we use it a lot. Print and use len function and just pass the name of variable, which is my set 2. Okay, as you see here, the number of items is 2 because this A does not include in this set, although we have written in this curly bracket. Okay, so let's see the length of my set. Also print len, and inside len my set. Okay, you see here it is 3. Actually it contains 3 items. As you see here, Alex, John and Sarah are 3 items. Like list and tuple, set also can be of any data type. For example, it can be a string, it can be a boolean or integer, and it also can contain different data types. For example, it can contain an integer, a string, or a boolean at the same time. Okay, let's see here, my new set equals to, I want to use a string first, John, and after that I'm gonna use a boolean like false, and I'm gonna use integer, for example 21, and also float like 21.5. okay, and it is still a set. Okay, let's print my new set here to see the output. Okay, it is set and it contains 4 different data types, and as you see here, it is possible to have different data types. Let's talk about how to access set items. Well, I told you that there is not specific order. In other words, it is unordered. Okay, so you cannot refer them by index or key. However, you can loop through a set and access to all items, okay, at the same time. However, you cannot access to one of them because there is no index or key so they can use. Okay, you just need to loop through a set. For example, here we use 4 and x in, for example, my set, and I'm gonna print x. Okay, some of you guys might not be familiar with loops. I'm gonna teach you all kind of loops in a separate session, but just for now, bear in mind that in each iteration, x representing an item of this set, and let's see the output. Okay, Oliver, John, Alex and Thea. As you see here, the first one is Oliver, although in this set the actually third one is Oliver. Okay, you can also see whether there is any specific item in this set or not. Okay, you can use in keyword like list and tuple. For example, here I'm going to use in keyword. Let's see if for example John in my set. Okay, print, for example, okay, and else print not found. Okay, it's better. Okay, as you see here, we have okay because John is one of the item of this set. Okay, if I change it to, for example, Chris, and if I run it, you see here not found because Chris is not an item in this set. So you can use keyword in order to check whether there is any specific item in that set or not. Well, we said that once a set is created, you cannot change the items, but you can add or remove items. Now we're going to talk about how to add new item to a set. Okay, you can use add method. This is add method, and in order to add new item to a set. Okay, for example, in here I use my set dot add in order to add new item. For example, here I add Chris. Okay, and if I print my set, okay, you see here Chris is added, but you know that there is not specific order, so Chris is not actually added to the end of the set. Okay, if I for example loop through the items, the actually set, you will see Chris in another order. Okay, it is not always at the end of a set. If you want to add items from another set into the current set, you can use update method. It is not actually compulsory. It is not necessarily it must be, for example, a set in order to actually add to a current set. It can be a list. Okay, I will show you how you can do this. Let's remove this. Okay, this is our current set, and let's use another set. My set 2 equals to for example, Leo and Jack. Okay, and now I want to use update method, my set dot update. Okay, and I'm gonna pass my set to, okay, and if I run it, you see actually Jack here and Leo here. Okay, you see here again there is not specific order. Now I'm gonna actually use a list here. My list equals to, I use a square bracket, and for example here I'm gonna pass A and for example B, and this time instead of my set to, I'm gonna pass my list. Okay, as you see here, A and B are added to this set. Let's see how we can remove items from a set. Well, in order to remove an item in a set, we use two methods, remove and discard. I'll tell you what the differences are between these two methods. First, let's use remove. Here we have a set, okay, and I'm going to use remove my set dot remove, okay, and I'm going to pass for example an item like John, okay, and if I print the result, actually my set, and you see here there is no John in this new set. Okay, so here I use remove. Let's use discard this time instead of remove. Discard. Okay, it is also working. As you see here, John is actually removed. Let's for example choose another one like Alex, and you see here Alex is removed, but as you see here again there is not specific order. Okay, the order changed. Now let's see what is the differences between remove and discard. Well, if you use remove and if the item to remove does not exist, remove method will raise an error. However, if you use discard and the item to remove does not exist, discard will not raise an error. Okay, let's try. For example, in here there is no Chris in this set. I'm gonna use discard in order to remove Chris. Okay, let's see here, no error, and this is my list. Okay, nothing changed. However, let's use remove here instead of discard. Okay, as you see here, this is an error because Chris actually is not one of the items to be removed. Okay, so you have to be careful. If you want to actually see that error, you use remove method, and if you don't want to see any error, if there is no actually items to remove, you can use discard. You can also use another method to actually remove an item, which is pop. The method is pop. Okay, let's write it. This is pop is the method, but actually this method will remove the last item, and as you know there is not a specific order, so each time pop might remove an item randomly. So if you actually do not care about the item and you just want to remove one item, you can use pop. Actually otherwise you have to use remove or discard. Let's see how we can use pop. For example, my set dot pop. Okay, as you see here, which one is deleted? Oliver is deleted. Okay, as you know, in that time Oliver must have been actually the last item, and pop deleted the Oliver. Okay, if you want to actually empty the set, you can use clear. Okay, for example, in here I remove an item and this time I want to empty the set. Let's use clear my set dot clear, clear. Okay, and let's print my set. Okay, as you see here, it is empty now. If you want to delete this set, you have to use del, in other words del keyword. let's use it here, del, and I'm going to use this set, my set. Okay, and if I try to print my set, I must actually face an error here. As you see here, my set is not defined because in this line I delete actually my set, and there is no my set here to be printed. Now we're going to talk about joining two sets together. There are several ways in order to join two or more sets in Python. Actually, the first one is you can use a union method that actually returns a set containing all the items of both sets. Okay, so let's use it. In here, I want to use these two sets in order to combine them, and I want to define a new set. My set 3 equals to my set 1 dot union. Okay, and I'm gonna pass actually the second set, my set 2, and let's print my set 3, which is the result of joining my set 1 and my set 2. Okay, as you see here, there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items, which is the result of combining these two sets together. You can also use update, and we talked about using update in actually previous section. And you have to bear in mind that union and update will actually exclude any duplicate items. For example, in here, if I actually add, for example, 1, and if I run it, you see here there's only one item, which is 1. Okay, but I have this one here and this one here. It must be 2, 1 in this set. However, we do not have 2, 1 because actually it does not allow duplicate values. Sometimes you have two sets and you might want actually to store just items that are present in both sets. Okay, how we can do that? You can use intersection underline update method. Let me write it down. Intersection underline update. This is actually the method. Let's use it. Here we have 1 and let's add 2, and 1 and 2 are present in this set and also present in this set. Okay, let's see how we can actually change my set into another actually new set, but this time it can actually have only items that are common in both sets. Okay, let's use it. My set 1 dot intersection update, and I'm gonna pass my set 2. Okay, and this time let's see the result of my set 1. Okay, we face an error here. Right, this is misspelling. Okay, as you see here, my set changed to this set. Okay, why this happened? Because in this method I am just selecting those items that are present in both sets. Okay, in this example, 1 and 2 are present in my set 2 and also present in my set 1. Okay, if I add, for example, 3 here, and if I run it, you see 3 is also here because 1, 2, and 3 are actually present in both sets. This way you could actually update my set 1. Okay, sometimes you want to actually create a new set which is actually containing items that are present in two different sets. Okay, this time you just need to use intersection. Let me here, instead of this one, let me use my set 3 equals to intersection my set 1 dot intersection, and let me pass my set 2. Okay, this is my set 1. I have to change it to my set 3. Okay, as you see here, my set 3 is also actually the result of those items that are present in both sets. Okay, let me comment this, and again, this is my set 3. Sometimes vice versa is true. I mean, sometimes you want to keep all the items, but those that are present in two different sets. Okay, this time you can use another function. I'm gonna tell you what this function is right now. Okay, let me comment this one. Okay, and you just need to use my set one, the actually first set, or the second set, no problem. Dot, you use this method, symmetric difference update. Okay, let me write it. This is a bit long. Symmetric underline difference underline update. Okay, let me pass the second set, my set 2, and here we do not have any my set 3, so my set 1. Here we have an error because in here misspelling again, and as you see here, there are actually items in here which are not present in both sets. Okay, 1, 2, and 3, which are present in both sets, are not included in this actually set. You can also use symmetric difference in order to actually create a new set. Okay, you just need to remove this update. Okay, and you just need to assign it to a new set. My set 3 equals to this line, which is my set 1 dot symmetric difference, and pass the another set. And here if I print my set 3, the result is the same. So in this section we talked actually about so many methods, and I'm gonna actually review those methods in order to make sure that you understand all of them, but you have to practice in order to be actually more familiar and more skilled in order to use these methods. Okay, the first one is add. Well, we use add in order to actually add new item. We use remove and discard to remove an item. We use a union and update in order to actually join set together. Use pop in order to remove the last item, which actually we do not know what that last item is because there is no specific order. Use clear in order to empty the set, and intersection update if you want to actually choose those items that are present in both sets, and use intersection update if you want to update a set, and if you want to create a new set you use intersection. Don't need to use update. And symmetric difference update if you want to just keep all the items but those that are present in both sets. Okay, here is the end of this session. I hope it was useful for you. We talked about everything which is necessary in order to work with set in Python, and if you want to actually get the hang of this concept, you have to work hard, you have to practice. If you want to learn more about Python and other programming languages, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. If you have any question, feel free to leave comment. I'll reach you as soon as possible. Bye for now.